Hello, I am Nindy of Nindy's Creative Corner. Today I will be showing you how to make this paper rose using your fancy flower punch. These are the supplies you'll need. Your fancy flower punch, some cardstock. I'm using Melon Mambo, paper snips, bone folder, lots of glue dots, and your Tombow adhesive. Okay, now let's get started. We will punch out 3 flowers. We will now cut our petals. First we will cut 1 petal off of 1 flower. Now we will cut 2 petals. Just cut to the center for both cuts. And we will just cut down the center of the last one. Now we'll get our bone folder and fold the flowers by putting the bone folder down the center of the flower petal. I like to curve it twice. What we're doing is just making it weak enough so we can manipulate it well to make the rose. Alright, now let's do this one. Then only go to the beginning of the next petal when you're doing multiple petals. We're just basically curving the paper a little and softening it up. Okay, we'll do the last part on this one. Okay, I will do the rest and then I will come back. Next, we are going to do the end of our petals. We will take 1/2 of the rounded part and curve it back. This part's curving down, and then we'll curve this back on both sides. And we will repeat this with all of our petals. To the middle. Okay, I will do this with the rest of the petals and be back. Okay, we will now start to form our flowers using glue dots and Tombow. This first little petal is the hardest, but the flower looks better if you start with the center as opposed to starting at the outside. Roll it into a little cone. And then round it out again. Roll it between your fingers. Okay, there we go. First one's done. Now let's do our second one, the one with 2 petals. We'll be adding a petal each time. Pinch it. Form it into a curve. Press down on the glue dot. Fan out your ends a little bit. Now, we will see if we need to trim our... We'll trim just the very bottom. Looks like it came unstuck. Unfortunately, this is a common problem, but It usually doesn't matter after it's all assembled. Alright. Aim some Tombow down at the bottom. And yes, it's fine if it gets on the sides because we'll be cutting off the tip most likely anyway. Get some on your rose, on this little center petal, and poke it down. And we let it sit and dry while we do our next petal. We'll do the one with the 3 petals now. Gets progressively easier as you have more paper to work with. Fold down your petals again. And oops. Okay, we will trim this one. And yes, those parts do go flying all over the place. Now we will put Tombow around the edges of this. And some in the bottom. Make sure and position the petals how you want them. Hold them in place for a second. Okay, we'll let that dry for a second while we do our group of 4 petals. It doesn't matter whether you put your glue dot on the inside or the outside. Looks about the same because you're still overlapping that same amount. Yeah, we'll trim some off of this one. Yeah, it will be flat, and yes, glue will squish out, but that's okay. We'll add glue to our center. Guess I can put that one down. Probably should have trimmed off a little bit more. I think I will. A little bit more glue. Swirl it around till you like it. And our final petal. Okay. You probably have a little too much on that one. Oh, and I forgot to measure it first. Okay, we will be trimming off some of this. Looks like I'll get to use my adhesive remover on my paper snips to remove all the glue. And stick it in there, kind of curve the bottom up a little bit. We'll set this aside to dry for a few minutes, and then I will show you how to add the stem, which is a piece of floral wire, and the leaves, and the, I don't know, whatever that backing part is called. Be back in a few minutes. Hopefully our flower is dried enough, and so we can put our stem on. I'm using a covered floral wire. Use one on the thicker side. They come in varying widths. You can even just use the silver if you'd like. Let's get started. You will need needle nose pliers, wire cutters, a scallop circle punch. I'm using the 1 1/4, although you can also use the 7/8. The 1 1/4 is easier to work with, so I'm using it this time. And of course, lots of glue dots. So take your needle nose pliers and bend a little portion so you get a 90-degree angle. You will get, we do need to decide which part of our rose you want to be on the top. I don't know that it really matters. Okay, we'll do it this way. We'll put some glue dots on our wire. I found it easiest to just kind of roll the glue dot around it and lift it up. You'll want 2 glue dots, one for the corner and one for the end. Makes me feel a little bit more secure that it will actually stick. But I've not had any problems with them coming off. Put this little tip, the bend, right in the center, and here. We will go ahead and cut us some little flowers, some little leaves. I just cut kind of ovals with tips on them. Again, they don't have to be perfect. Just a general leaf shape will work. Just make sure and cut right to the tip. Okay. Put a couple of glue dots on each end. This is the part that will be adhering to the flower. Oops. I guess it adhered to me too. I usually use 2 leaves. You can use as many as you want. Place where you want. Press. This will be covered with the backing part. You will now do that. Punch your little scallop circle. Cut just a little past the center mark. And now for more glue dots. Oh, let's trim this. You may want to put it in your vase or whatever. I'll trim it a little longer than that one. Okay, usually this pops right off. Okay, there we go. Okay, now for lots of glue dots again. We'll put glue dots along each side of the cut line and then periodically around all the edges. Okay, now find your line and put it right so the tip is around where the wire is in the center. Press down the one side and then continue pressing all the way around. Poke your stem out. And then it will overlap. Some, it depends on the flower how much it overlaps. So here is your flower. You can manipulate it a little bit, move the wire. And there you have it. A paper rose made with your fancy flower punch. Come to my website at www.nindyscreativecorner.com for more paper crafting and card ideas. See you there. Bye.